So we just got this brand new phone, but it's a phone that feels so out of place that it doesn't even feel like a 2025 phone. In fact, it's the most anti-2025 phone that I have ever seen. Now, it's not entirely a bad phone because this offers some really good things that no other phone has. Still, it's an odd combination between old school charms and newer trends. The phone that I'm talking about is the Sony Xperia 1 Mark 7. This is their latest phone that just launched in the UK, but we got it for you guys. After testing it for the last few days, I actually have a lot to tell you, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let's start with the unboxing first. The box looks very different from the usual smartphone boxes, and same goes for the inbox content also. There's phone, some paperwork, and that's it. No charging brick, no charging cable, and no SIM ejector tool either. See, not having the SIM ejector tool is fine because you can just open it the old school way and it's very nostalgic also, but removing the cable from the box? I don't think even Apple has that much courage. It can happen in the future, but we are talking about the present. Now, coming to the phone. It looks very premium in this boxy design. The frame is metal and the back is glass, but there's this very nice texture all over and you just can't stop doing this.
Wait a minute.
This pattern on the back helps you file your nails, and on the sides, it gives you a very good grip. I was holding an iPhone in one hand and this one in the other hand, and just look how the iPhone is sliding and this one is intact. The phone is IP65 and IP68 rated, but still, there's an easily removable hybrid SIM slot at the bottom and a headphone jack at the top. I know, it's possible to have IP rating with a headphone jack, but is it even allowed? I think they don't know that. By the way, it's not your normal usual headphone jack. It's actually gold soldered with copper plated resistors, which results in a very good audio quality. Let's talk about the display now. The first thing that I noticed when I turned this phone on was these bezels. On the sides they are fine, but on the top and the bottom they are just uncomfortably big. This is the iPhone 16 Pro Max next to the Sony Xperia, and just look at the difference in bezels. Now, the bigger bezels are there for a reason, and the reason is that there are dual front-firing speakers here, which no other phone has. Having such speakers ensure a better sound quality, and even when you're holding your phone like this while watching movies or playing games, the speakers are not blocked at all. See, I get it, front-firing speakers, better sound quality, but I want to know from you guys, which one would you prefer? Slimmer bezels or better sound quality? Tell me in the comments. If I talk about the display specs, you get a 6.5 inches 120Hz LTPO panel, but it's not 4K like before. It's just 1080p, which is just sad for a flagship phone like this, because even the budget phones in 2025 come with 1.5K displays. And not just that, the LTPO tech being used is not the latest and it goes till 30Hz only. I think by now you must have understood that why I said that I don't want to hate this phone. On one hand, it's not letting the basics die, and on the other hand, it's killing the basics. And it doesn't stop here, there's a lot more. Specs wise, you get everything top of the line. There's Snapdragon 8 Elite, tons of RAM, tons of storage, but the performance is not optimized at all. The stability is not good and the temperatures are also on the higher side. So yeah, no optimizations at all. And if you think since it's Sony, the cameras must be exceptionally good, well, hold your horses. The 52MP main camera takes some really good photos both in daytime and night. There's a 50MP ultra-wide, which by the way is a bigger sensor than the main camera, but for some reason the photos don't come out as sharp as the main sensor, but the details are fine. And when it comes to the 12MP telephoto, it's actually a continuous zoom lens from 3.5x to 7.1x, and you can actually see it physically moving. The photos also come out good. This is a 1x shot, this is a 3.5x, and this is a 7.1x. Pretty detailed, right? Now, as much as I like the photos from this phone, Sony doesn't process a lot, which is what people expect these days. I know, for a photographer, this might be ideal, but for everyone else, it's not. See, in a world where every phone is using Sony sensor for their flagship phones, it's only the post-processing that is differentiating one phone from another. In fact, it's Vivo's post-processing that is beating both Apple and Samsung. For the videos, this is a 4K 60 video from the main camera, and as you can see, it has come out really good and it's also very stable. There's also this very interesting feature called auto framing. Once it's set up, it'll just track your eyes, and if you move, the camera moves with you and will keep you in the center always. It's quite cool and works well, as you can see. I have taken a lot of photos and videos from this phone, and I'll also leave a drive link with all the samples, so if you're interested, do check it out, and while you're at it, hit the like button. It means a lot. Now, coming to the battery, this is another area which feels, well, how do I put it? It feels vintage. There's only 5000 mAh battery with a slow 30-watt charging speed. There's wireless charging support also, but it's only limited to 15 watts. It's even slower than an iPhone. Now that's something. In terms of software, you get a very clean experience. In fact, it's so clean, you get absolutely zero AI features. There's a promise of 4OS updates, but it's not as much as what you get on other flagships. Having said all of that, there's one area where this flagship surpasses any flagship out there, and that is the pricing. This phone costs a whopping £1,400, which is even £200 more than the iPhone 16 Pro Max. You do get their flagship headphones bundle for free, but even after that, the price doesn't justify the phone at all. But still, I don't want to hate this phone because it's keeping the legacy alive. Remember when Xperia phones were a big hit? Everyone wanted an Xperia phone, people waited for it, and it was just everywhere. Old Xperia phones were actually the trendsetter, but now, in 2025, the tables have turned. A lot has changed, but Sony Xperia is still stuck to those old times. It's not innovating at all. It seems that they're launching the phone only for the sake of it. In fact, they have outsourced the entire manufacturing of their phones, which is just sad. I think if Sony really needs to make a comeback to the smartphone industry, their leadership has to come out of the old mindset and create smartphones with fresh perspective. They've done it in the past and they can do it again. So yeah, that's it from my side. What do you guys think? Do you think Sony can make a proper comeback? Tell us in the comments. I look forward to reading your comments. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button and I'll see you in the next one.